what's up, everybody? It's your girl, Yolanda. Thank you so much for tuning in to Keeping It Realty. I appreciate you guys tuning in every Thursday as I go live and I interview different people. Today, I have someone very special. I met her through the Superwomen of Real Estate page, and I wanted to share this platform that we have so that we can talk about entrepreneurial mindset. Please, guys, help me welcome Misty Flanagan. Misty, thank you.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me, and cheers to your tea.
Cheers.
I love it.
We are both drinking green tea, guys.
Mhm.
Cheers to
Yes,
tea,
yes.
sipping tea, and talking real estate. Thank you
Love
so,
it.
so much for coming on board.
Absolutely. Thanks for having
Being
me.
a part of this movement. And so we're talking today again about entrepreneurial mindset, what it is to be an entrepreneur and what it is to have that mindset. It's so important to refresh our mindset every day. And as I said, coming down the page of Superwomen of Real Estate, you really motivated me, Misty. I would see your post. I would see the Monday motivation post. You even posted it was a podcast, and it was a guy, I forget his name, I should have researched it.
Rob Dial, Mindset Mentor.
Yes, and he was talking about purge.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh. I was in the middle of purging. I feel bad because I'm horrible at taking a whole day off. Like, I wish I could just stop the day and not do anything. But I
Mhm.
have definitely been doing a purge in my home. I've been doing a purge in my mindset. And I think for me, listening to that, it was so important because I'll be completely honest, when I listened to it and he was talking about, purging and clean out your house, I was like, okay, but what is this doing for me mentally? I can clean out my house, but where's the connection? And
Mhm.
by the time I listened to the whole thing, and it was about 20 minutes. So, guys, I encourage you to listen to it. It's not long. It's really short. And by the time I got done with it, I really understood what he meant about, cleaning your house, but cleaning your mindset, cleaning your emotions. Emotions are the biggest thing. And I'll be completely honest, I'm a very emotional person. I'm learning more about me and my feelings and when to release them, when to show them, when to hide them, when to control them. And as you know, in real estate, at least for me, I know I hold the emotions of my clients. So
Mhm.
I have my emotions, I have my clients' emotions.
Mhm.
I'm trying to control the deal. And it's just a lot of moving pieces. And it's not just even with business, but also in personal. Being
Mhm.
a mom of three boys, being able to be a real estate agent, having my investor business, having the podcast business. Now it's different strings that, is being pulled.
Lots of hats, right? Lots
Yeah,
of
right.
hats. Mhm.
Lots of hats. And so, with lots of hats, there comes where you have to really sit down and purge. You have to. And the number one thing that I do now, and thank you so much for sharing that clip, because my daily thing is this situation, person, or thing serving me
Mhm.
personally or in my business? I say that to myself every day. And I think it's so important because if it's not serving us in our business, if it's not serving us, personally, then we don't need to invite that into our space. You have to really channel your energy and give it to the things that's going to serve you and to the things that's going to, be profitable to your business and to you and to your growth. Um,
Absolutely.
so, I wanted to thank you for that. So, for those that did not, I'm definitely going to make sure that I get a link down at the bottom here so that way you could be able to have that mentor mindset that I'm talking about. The Purge is really good to read. And Misty has great tips. So, those, if you're not following Misty, please make sure you follow her. Again, it's lots of good tips, gems that you get daily. If you really want to follow someone who's a leader, if you really want to follow someone who's really doing this business, and you see the business and you see that positivity. I saw that even in clicking on your page. A lot of people talk about you, and I don't know if you know this. I heard
I hope it's good things.
yes. And I said, guys, Misty's coming on my show. And they're like, what? Misty? You like, yes, Misty's coming
You're
on.
gonna make me blush.
I'm really serious. We in
Aw.
the Superhuman group and family, we love your work. We talk about your work. You're a leader. You're someone that we definitely look up to. And again, that's why I was honored. I was in your DMs. I was like, hey, Misty, can you? And when you said yes, I was like, wow, I was really honored that you would be a part. So without further ado, please share with us, what do you have going on? I know it's a lot when it comes to your mentorship, your program, and what you're doing. Let's talk to us.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, gosh, I don't even know where to start with that intro. That was like, you got me all blushing over here. So, no, I love what you're doing in the group. I'm so glad to be a part of it. And I love, especially women, I really love being a support and being around supportive women, being a community. A lot of times, whether you're an entrepreneur or especially in real estate, it can get very competitive.
Yes.
And also I am an investor, and a developer, and builder. And in that world, it's very male dominated. And
Yes.
so that was where I really wanted to, we used to have monthly events, and we're going to come back to that, but I have a Facebook group as well. And we had, how that started was monthly networking events, to have a space where women in real estate, whether they were agents or investors or in insurance or mortgage or whatever title, didn't matter. We wanted them to all have a space to come together and grow and learn from and with each other. And so that's where my love of coaching and mentoring others came from. I didn't really know it at the time, because I was just kind of like, these were open to anybody. I was just kind of helping people as they come and go. And then, I started working with a life and business coach, and she actually asked me to start a group coaching program with her. She's like, hey, how about we start this group coaching program, which is now her Mindset Matters REI group. And she said, I'm coaching a lot of women in real estate right now, including yourself, and I'm seeing them all have very similar mindset blocks, right? And I think it'd be really great if we put together a program that was half mindset, half real estate investing. And she said, I'll be the mindset side and you be the investing side. And she is a passive investor in real estate as well. So if Deidre is out there watching, hey, Deidre. She's amazing. She is a certified life coach. So I coached with her for about a year. About 6 months in, we started her Mindset Matters REI group. We now have 50 women that have gone through that program. And so we have a little special tribe for, we have a private Facebook group. They go through an 8-week program that really helps them build their real estate investing business from the ground up, but more importantly, their mindset. Because what we're finding is, as you just stated, we're emotional creatures, right? And I love that about women. Absolutely love that. And it's 100% needed. But we get in our own way all the time.
Overthinker. I'm an overthinker.
Yes. Every woman that I've ever talked to says that, right? And I am.
Oh my goodness.
It's crazy. So when I started working with Deidre, I was at a place where I had multiple real estate investing businesses. People were looking at me like, oh, Misty, oh, Misty, oh, Misty. My mindset was not right. I was super overwhelmed, super stressed, trying to do a balancing act. And it was just not a pleasant place to be perfectly honest. Yeah. And fortunately, Deidre came into my life at the right time. We actually met through my Women's RIA Facebook group. And I shared a podcast, and she was like, oh my gosh, I went to the same life coach school as the girl in the podcast. And I was like, no way. And she goes, yeah. And I just got my license and I'm offering some free coaching sessions. Would you want one? I was like, yeah. And then I became a client of hers because it was amazing. And so when I started working with her, one of the things that she taught me that I will never forget, and that I continue to teach our group coaching clients, or we teach our group coaching clients, and I teach my one-on-one clients, is the CEO mindset. So it's very similar to what you mentioned earlier. When you try to understand when is the time to get emotional, to be logical, to, hide. I don't really like to use the word hide, but there were so many situations that I was finding that I was getting way too emotional about
Mm-hmm.
that I had zero control over, right? So
Right.
instead of getting emotional about it and ending up in what I called a tailspin, where it was like, so for example, COVID, happened right as we started coaching together. And thank goodness I had her, because I went on this emotional tailspin of, oh my gosh, COVID is happening. Oh my gosh, we're building 24 townhomes. Oh my gosh, the economy is going to take a tank. Oh my gosh, we're going to go bankrupt. I mean, it was like not good, right? And
Yes.
she's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, let's focus. Like, let's look at this logically. Let's focus on what you can control. And she just said, do you want to stop building your townhomes? And I said, no, absolutely not. She said, okay. So what can you do? Well, I can keep building. I can keep our crews going as long as it's like legal, right? And everything. We could keep the real estate market going. And I can just watch the market. I can get onto I got onto like every webinar possible with economists that were trying to understand what was going to happen from this pandemic and what was going to happen to the market. And all of them kept saying real estate is going to be what helps it bounce back. So thank goodness we kept building, because now, as you know, we're in a very hot real estate market. We're selling our townhomes above ask, so if we would have stopped building, can you imagine what would have happened there?
Right, right.
But that's where it really clicked for me, is like, could I go on that crazy tailspin tangent and freak out every day of the pandemic and wonder when I'm going to go bankrupt? Sure. But is that a logical, healthy way to conduct business? And, so now I put on my CEO hat, and I have my CEO mindset, where I literally look at everything through logical, like numbers. Even if you come across a property like, oh, I really want to flip this house. It's so cute. It's so pretty and da, da, da. But the numbers don't make sense. Take the emotion out of it. It's all about the numbers. Make a logical business decision. And
Right.
that's what I'm teaching these women is they get into real estate, or try to, and they are constantly beating themselves up. I don't know what I don't know. I'm terrified to talk to sellers. I don't know how to analyze a deal. I can't do this. I don't, and they literally beat themselves up to the point where then they just give up, and they don't actually give themselves a fair chance. So when we look at look at their business through a CEO mindset, and I teach them how to, do that, they're actually doing things, right? They're actually like gaining confidence to talk to sellers and analyze deals. Now we're also coaching on that too, right? I'm also helping them, have better conversations and whatnot. So there's a lot, it's an education, along with just like support, guidance, accountability. But it's just so interesting how our emotions can literally, it can stomp all over our dreams just like that, without us even really knowing it's happening.
Oh my, definitely, definitely. Guys, if you're just tuning in with us, I want to introduce you again to Misty Flanagan. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in to Keeping It Realty. We're talking about entrepreneurial mindset, and Misty was just really breaking down that CEO mindset. You got to take your emotions out of the deal. You got to take your emotions out of the situation. You got to put your CEO mindset hat on, and that's that logic thinking. That will save us because, again, just as clients make those emotional decisions, and everybody's going to be emotional. You got to at least be the one logic thinking on the deal, or you're going to get sucked into the emotion and not be able to control the situation.
Right.
And that's for anything that we're going into, guys. So personally, same thing. If you're dealing with something personal, we can call it our personal mindset hat, right?
Yeah. I mean, we say you're a CEO of your life and business.
That's right.
That's
That's
what
what
we
I'm
teach
saying,
them.
right? We're
Yep.
still a CEO of our business. We're still a CEO of our personal lives, our family. We have to still set that. And in any situation, we do want to put in that logic mindset. We do want to do and think logically. And to be honest with you, this is something I am personally going through now. Talking to you yesterday, I had a very emotional day. I really did. Yesterday was a breakdown for me. Just keeping it 100% honest. And I had to really, I didn't get logic until like maybe in towards the night or morning. But if you stay in that place and you think those thoughts and you think, like, it will take you to a point that you can just go, like you said, it will kill your dream. It will
Mhm.
lose the deal. So you
Mhm.
want to make sure that you definitely are thinking logic, that you definitely are staying positive. Um,
Mhm. Mhm.
definitely be a network and support system for each other as women, as people in real estate, or we have these groups and we get together and we connect with people. But you got to also know how to do it for yourself. You got to know
Mhm.
how to put that CEO mindset in for yourself. You got to know when to do it. And
Mhm.
we are human, so you're going to have those emotional moments. You don't stay there. If you feel
Right.
it, you nip it, and you get that CEO mindset, because we're human. We have hearts. We
Right.
want to help everyone. We want to do what's best. Or sometimes we want to maybe be over givers. Sometimes we can overdo it. We
Mhm.
just
Mhm.
we're in a business so much, and we understand it, that it's easy for us to allow people to may have in certain situations may take advantage of certain things. If you're just starting and you don't really have your startup crew or your workers, and you're trying to trust people, with your money to rehab and just do different things. And it's a big risk out here that you take, and emotions are
Right.
definitely going to be into any situation. So logically thinking helps us. Thank you for that, Misty. uh,
Mhm.
what else can we expect and do when it comes to just entrepreneur mindset?
Sure. So, one of the most important things that I don't think anybody talks about is the learning curve that is involved with becoming an entrepreneur. Whether you're in real estate, or you're having e-commerce business or some, you know what I mean. It does not matter what the actual business is. The learning curve that needs to be embraced, right? And you need to give yourself grace is so, so important, because I don't care if you are the top of the heap in your corporate job, you are still an employee of somebody, right? Unless you are an owner in that company. But you are, and actually, my boyfriend Jason was an owner in the company we used to work for. He owned shares, but he wasn't. And it was in construction. He was a civil engineer. We went into real estate, not thinking this was going to be easy by any means, but we thought, oh, we got a leg up. We know a thing or two, right?
Mhm.
Oh my gosh, like the learning curve involved of just being a business owner and
Right.
really understanding the ins and outs of running a business is not the same thing as even being like a CEO of a business or whatever, a project manager. It's,
Right.
it doesn't, it's not the same. And so what happens again is people get into it, don't understand things don't happen overnight, and that there's multiple processes and procedures and systems that need to be set up in order for you to be successful. They get very impatient, or they don't know where to start or what to do. They get frustrated and they give up.
Yep.
And so that's one thing that I'm very vocal about. And like you, I keep it real 100% of the time. If you see any of my posts, I
Right.
am very open about I am human, and this is how I am feeling, and this is. And then I follow it with the tools and resources that I've learned to help me get through that time, right?
Right.
And so I'm very honest with my clients, whether they're working with me through group coaching or one-on-one. So this does not happen overnight. Okay.
Yeah.
I want you to know that. I keep hearing people going on TikTok saying, oh, well, somebody said I can become a wholesaler overnight and make $50,000 in one deal. And I'm like, oh my gosh, is that possible? Absolutely. Right.
Yeah.
But is that the norm? No.
No, right. And that's the thing. And I was gonna say that so many people reach out and they're in my inbox, and oh, I want to do this, and they're in different fields, or what have you. And some of them may get into real estate, and it's funny because they'll get into it, and a month later I'm like, are you still doing real estate? It's like, oh no. I'm like, it's been a month. Like, you didn't even. So you gotta really have that mindset again, that hustle, drive, commitment. Because commitment,
Commitment.
because
Commitment. This is a long haul.
those that are putting out for systems, you are paying for systems or paying for people to work for you, and you're not getting a deal. That's the hardest, when no money's coming into the business, but you still got to market for the business. You still got to, do things that a CEO logically, right,
Mm-hmm,
have to do when emotionally you're not getting that benefit come in.
Right.
And so, you do have situations where, like you said, it is possible, right? You can get into it and get a good deal, sure, and make that amount. But is it something that you said happens the norm? No,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
You have to put a lot of work and
you've been
time.
doing that. You've been wholesaling for quite some time. You put a system together. You're paying for, lots of resources. You're paying for mentors. You're paying for to get to that level if you're producing that type of,
Right. Absolutely. And if you work with the right person, I will say this too, because I think this is really important. I work with a lot of single moms that have W-2 jobs and are building this on the side. They want something better for themselves. They want something better for their family. They don't have a ton of capital, right? They do believe in investing in a coach to help them get there quicker. But beyond that, we have to be very strategic in the amount of money that they're spending per month on systems and on marketing campaigns. So we purposely dive into, okay, what can what do we have, what budget do we have to work with? And from there, will they have to dedicate more time? Sure, right? They can't hire the VA right away, right? Which you shouldn't anyways. You should know how to do all this on your own before you're hiring a VA. But
Right.
but there are
I
ways
need to
to
make
get
sure the
into it.
VA is doing the KPIs.
Right, exactly.
Tracking your business. Yep.
Exactly. And so there's many reasons why you should do it yourself to start, but a lot of times that's the cheaper way to do it. And it's the best way to learn anyways. But a lot of they'll watch things, or some other programs will be like, oh, you got to go get this CRM, and you got to pay for this provider, and you got to get this dialer, and you got to pay for this VA. And before you know it, they're spending like $1,000 a month and they got nothing coming in. And so that's the reason that they only last a month or two, is because they can't afford to keep going with nothing coming in. They don't actually know how to utilize any of those systems.
Yep.
And so for the way that I work with my clients is, we build systems that make sense for you in that moment. And then as you scale your business, we add bigger, better systems along the way. So that's how that works. Uh-oh, did we freeze? Did I freeze? Did you freeze? Oh no. I don't know. Am I frozen? You're frozen? We're frozen? I don't know. Shoot. Okay, I think we're back. I was like, am I frozen? Are you frozen?
Yes, we were frozen. We're back.
It happens.
Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in to Keeping It Real Tea. I'm here with Misty Flanagan. We're talking about entrepreneur mindset. If you guys are just tuning in, we were talking about CEO mindset, taking your emotions out of things, really thinking logically. What else did we talk about? We're talking about
Breaking the learning curve of being an entrepreneur, right? Mm-hmm.
breaking. That is important.
Mm-hmm.
Breaking that learning curve. It's so important for us to learn according to, again, our resources and what we have. We can never learn when we're looking at other people. Of course, now, and I take that with a grain of salt. Of course, we want to look at people who inspire us and, things like that. But what I mean is, you can't model someone if you don't have those same resources to be able to afford the same resources that they're affording. So we were talking about people that, just may get into the industry. They know that they want to do it. They're really excited in the beginning until they start putting out money and seeing that no money is coming in. Just real quick, not to get off subject, but some things that you can do if you do have no money and, you're trying to get started. Like Misty said, learning curve is to do it yourself. You got to really be in it to call the seller, do that driving for dollars, find that house, look up that property. Before you be able to pay people to do it and really upscale that business, you want to be able to train them and teach them what your KPIs are and teach them what, your trackers have been. So when you transfer your information, you're still able to keep up with them, and doing your business exactly how you've already been doing it. And so it's good to really know. So we were really getting into that mindset of doing it yourself and experiencing that for yourself. Before you can really, because the goal for me and for my clients, what I teach people in our mentorship, shout out to Flight School if you are looking for a mentorship. Us, Aaron, Bryson, Duval, you got Paul, you got Annalise, And we are definitely putting together, which we have a mentorship program. So every Saturday we meet and every Sunday. So we have training and just different things to help you build your business and to also create a community where we have a lot of questions that we ask. We're helping people day to day with their contracts. We're helping people, with their goals, and we're really helping people with their KPIs. Because the number one thing that we sit down and ask people, what's your plan? How many leads are you getting daily? How many offers are you putting out? What's your KPIs for your cold callers. You got to be able to say, okay, I need to put out X amount to get X amount. You got to be able to do the math and really sit down and say, okay, what's your budget, where you are, what's your goal, and how much money you want to make. And then you got to really be able to sit back and break down that math to your data and how many people are you reaching out to break it down. And so I hope I didn't lose anyone with that. But Misty, you got me, right?
Yeah, no, a plan. You got to have a plan. That's what most people don't have either. They just kind of,
Right.
I'm just going to do a lot of things, and there's no plan, there's no strategy.
Exactly.
And all the things kind of come crumbling down, and again, they give up. It always results in them like, well, I guess this just isn't for me. No, you don't know what you don't know, and that's okay. And that's where, looking at joining a program or hiring a coach or mentor. I'm working with women that tried to do real estate for years. They tried to get into investing. And then finally were like, you know what? I'm going to hire somebody because what I'm doing clearly isn't working. And this is still important to me. And, within weeks, they're putting offers on properties, they're closing deals. I have one that she already has her first new construction project. She's doing I think she has 5 flips and 1 new construction project in 6 months. And I'm just like, whoa, so yeah.
Exactly.
But we have a plan as a team. It's, you know what I mean? It's very intentional, and strategic, because that's what a business is. You have to, if you treat a business like a hobby, you're going to get paid like a hobby. And that's something Rob Dial, Mr. Mindset Mentor, says, oh, that makes so much sense. You have to really look at this and treat it like a business. And, yeah,
that makes so much sense. And we want to definitely have that plan. We want to have that mentorship. We want to be around people that can inspire us, motivate us. And, I always say my circle of friends I always said it used to be small, but it's gotten so big over the last year. I've met so many people, just being open and walking up to people and, having a conversation, just and sparking what someone, it has opened up so many doors. And it's so important for us to do that in the business, and be able to pave the way for the next person, and to, have that community where you can say, hey, listen, I'm lost. I don't know, what's going on that day. If you're out there and you have these, if you want to become a part of an all-woman group, you have Misty Flanagan group. If you want to become part of a community, whether you have people nationwide, you have the Flight School group. We meet every week. Misty always, I don't know what days she meets, but you can definitely reach out to Misty. And we have programs in place for you. There are resources for you. You don't have to feel like you're alone, like you're doing this by yourself. You can learn from people who have made those mistakes, who have, careers succeeded in the things that you can learn from, and learn at your pace. Learn where you are. We're not trying to teach you to learn something that, you're not ready for. Misty is really good. Like she has her one-on-one coaching. So she takes her personal time, will be there to really mentor and train you on a one-on-one basis as needed. She does work with a couple of agents, just an agent who's interested in learning more about the business and just kind of learning more from Misty. On a personal level, Misty, because I know we talked a lot about your mentorship. I know you got your construction, but you also do fix and flip. You do a lot of different things. So I really want the viewers to get to know you more on a business aspect of where you are in real estate and what niches are you working in.
Sure. So I've been doing this with my boyfriend for the last 5 years. So as I mentioned, we both worked for a general contractor. He did construction. He was a civil engineer, and I was in the HR and business department. So we carried those, skills and whatnot over to our real estate investing businesses. We just got tired of working for somebody else and said, let's do this. And so we quit our jobs, traveled for about 5 months, and moved to Austin, Texas, where we started our business. Then we moved to Houston about a year later, and that's where all of our new construction projects are. So we did a couple flips in Austin. Our primary focus in Houston is new construction with our company Elevated Development. That we founded that company with another couple that are also full-time real estate investors. And we also do some flips. We have one rental. We're going to be building out the rental portfolio, especially as these pre-foreclosures are coming back around. That is typically the market that I target.
Me too.
Yeah. I always
that market's getting ready to be hot.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of people that are gonna need a lot of help.
It's getting ready to boom.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. So when I first got into real estate investing, it was actually not gonna be my thing. It was only gonna be Jason's thing. And we went to, we joined a program. We went to a 3-day event and ended up joining. And by the end of it, I was like, I want to do this too. So
that was me too.
I love it. That's so awesome. Oh my God. Too funny. And so we both went all in on it and decided to just, go in full time. We can always go back to work. And fortunately, 5 years later, we have not needed to. And so he focuses on our new construction projects. We have a lot of equity in those projects, so we don't get paid until they're built and sold. So we needed income, right? And so that's when I started wholesaling. Because you can get in and out of deals very quickly. And then we did a couple flips and whatnot too, but the wholesaling was really where it was for me. And that is what I'm helping majority of my clients do, because like I had mentioned, they, are new to the industry, don't have a lot of capital. So wholesaling is a really awesome way to build capital and with less risk and still learn a lot about, how to analyze deals, how to negotiate with sellers, because you're looking at that deal as an investor because you're going to sell it to an investor or assign your interest to an investor, right? So that's a lot of what I do. Again, I'm going to be really filling the pipeline on our rental portfolio here soon. But what the great thing, not a great thing about COVID, I shouldn't say it like that, but the fact that kind of the pre-foreclosures had slowed down, I had freaked out because I was like, oh my gosh, who am I going to market to? Like, I know everything there is to know about pre-foreclosures. Like, I was an expert in it. I have a team around it. And I kind of freaked out. But then the great thing is I actually got to focus on my coaching business for the last year and a half, which I am very passionate about. Yes. And so it really worked out very well. And now that pre-foreclosures are coming back on, I will be marketing to them. And then also a lot of my clients will be. And they now have the knowledge that I have shared with them from my experience of I door knocked for 9 months straight every single day for like 5-6 hours a day. I knew nothing about pre-foreclosures except for this house is going to auction on this date. And I learned everything there was to know from door knocking and talking to homeowners, talking to mortgage companies, reaching out to my mentors when I had questions, working with buyers and understanding, what kind of deals they would want. And so I really became an expert in it. And that was simply from boots on the ground. And so now, like you said, like I like to share that, cut the learning curve for the people that want to invest in themselves with time, money, like, let's do this, like it's worth it. You know what I mean? So I share all of that amazing knowledge with them. So they're getting all pumped for I love it. Too. They're ready.
I love it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So it's nice to see their confidence when they come in and they're like, oh, pre-foreclosures. And then now we're like, oh, I can't wait for this to get started. I want to talk to homeowners, So
definitely
it's cool to see that transformation and be a part of that transformation and really help build up their business, but also their self-confidence, and their mindset to do the business correctly, because like you will never surpass yourself professionally of where you are personally. So if you're finding yourself at a block, it's because you're not ready to go to the next level personally. So you got to focus on that so that you can power through that obstacle or that block and move to the next level. And that's what all the mindset work I'm doing and have done, still doing. I'm actually part of Rob Dial, Mr. Mindset Mentor, his Kaizen Mastermind. So if you ever hear him mention it on the podcast, it's for entrepreneurs and it's how to teach us, coach us, mentor us, whatever you want to say it, to be the best version of ourselves and carry that into our
Mm,
businesses and into
I
our
love
personal
that.
relationships. Oh, it has changed my life. I mean,
I love that.
it's
Can we
amazing.
gotta get the viewers information on that? I know there's someone out here that we can reach out to with that because I personally would like to join. I want to have something that I can really set that mindset. I have like my
Mhm.
positive affirmations and I pray in the morning and meditate and do those things. But it's good throughout the day as you're driving. Instead of listening to music, nothing wrong with music, but just changing what you're listening to. And so I
Oh
told my
yeah, he talks about that a lot. Like the books
I
you
said
read,
instead
the
of listening
music, the
to
things you
music,
watch on
I'd
TV.
rather do, something positive I can listen to where I'm still getting fed, even though I'm riding to that house, I'm going to that appointment. I'm still doing something that's positive for the mindset. So we definitely want to make sure we get that information. Guys, please send Misty and I a message. You can drop a message down in the chat. Let us know, but we want to make sure that if you do want the resources that Misty had for that podcast, that we make sure that you can listen to that. So stay tuned for that. Thank you
Yeah,
so much, Misty.
yeah,
For your
absolutely.
tea, Misty.
Woo! Still got my tea. Still got it. Still got my green tea.
Awesome, awesome. And so, so we got that you're doing development. You're focusing on rentals. Now, what areas are you focusing your rentals on? Are you going to stay in the Houston area or
So we actually recently just moved about 45 minutes north of Houston.
Okay.
Um, and we're actually, even our projects are moving more out to the burbs in regards to new construction. We're actually looking at building subdivisions, some build to sell and some build to rent
Okay.
models. When my buyers actually, a lot of them are buy and hold buyers. They actually love the burbs. And so that's where I would go market anyways, was the suburbs of Houston, for rentals. So that's probably where I would market for myself, because then even if leads come in and it doesn't look like quite a deal for us, then I have other buyers that are going to,
Other buyers, exactly.
yeah, so I can wholesale it. And
Listen to that.
that's what I love about wholesaling is I will always
Yes.
do it, because there's always going to be deals that come in that might not make sense for me, or we have too many projects
And you
going
can
on.
sell it.
I'm not going to throw a good deal away. I'm going to wholesale it. I have these really great relationships with buyers because I know what I'm doing. That's another thing. People are like, oh, you can be a wholesaler and you don't have to know anything. And they're
Uh,
totally
no,
dragging the wholesaler.
I had someone reach out to me to JV a deal, and they didn't even have their contract into title, which means nothing was pulled or done, and they were asking me for a buyer. And I'm
Yeah.
like, was there any leads on the property? Is anything on the property? They couldn't answer anything. And I'm like, you didn't even pull title? If anybody comes to deal with me like that, I just don't even. I'm just like, okay, nice.
Yeah.
Don't even waste my time.
There's a lot of that happening right now. And that's where people are like, oh, I don't want to wholesale. I'm going to be labeled as, I'm like, not if you do it right. You're going to have a
Right.
ton of buyers who want to work with you, because there aren't enough legit wholesalers out there.
And they're sick
So,
of them daisy chainers, people just trying to get money quick. They taking your deal, they marketing themselves. I
mhm,
mean, it's just crazy. And like you said, you got to know what you're doing. And
mhm,
you have to have a team of people around you that like your VIP, buyers. Everybody should have those VIP buyers, If and it's funny, I had someone with me one day. I was driving around and we were looking at houses, and I got on the phone. I had to call like at least five people. Now I'm gonna tell my secret, but I had to call at least five people. And I was like, hey, you my VIP buyer. You're the first person I called. And I said that to the five people. He's like, you just said that to the last guy. I'm like, yeah, you tell everybody. You know what I mean? Like, you make
mhm,
all your buyers feel like they are the number one person in the spotlight. Like, whoever hits me back and they get this deal, great. But when I'm on the phone with you, the red carpet is laid out. Hey,
mhm.
VIP buyer, you're the first person I called. I got a deal. Hey, blah, blah, blah. And they get right back to you. They feel like, oh man, she called me first. You just make your VIP buyers feel so special in that, when a deal hits the market, like, hey, you're the first person I'm calling, you
Yeah.
know, and
Yeah.
you keep that, with them. And so, I say it to say, you definitely got to know what you're doing. And it's something that I wanted to get into before I forget, but I know July you did a lot of the all in challenge.
Mhm, mhm,
I love being all in, and I love how you really broke down what that meant and also what needs to be all in. Like what parts of us need to be all in. We need to be committed. We need to be disciplined. We need to time block. It's a lot of things And it's not just for real estate, but business in general. If you are in a different industry, um, that mindset is so important to set those skills. And when you take all the skills, more than what Misty and I are discussing today, because there's so many, but when you take those skills and you put them into that entrepreneurial mindset, that's when you have a win situation and you're all in. You got to take
Mhm.
all those pieces though. You got to take that. I call it growing pains because there's going to be some growing pains, right,
Oh,
Misty? This
yes.
is not easy.
No.
As Misty shares, she's been in the business for 5 years. She's now in development and she's doing a lot of great things. She can now build her portfolio. She's now doing fix and flips. But she has 5 years of experience. She's training and mentoring people to do this. And she's had a client that was able to do it in 6 months, and they're doing some great things. So, what I want to also say is, you got to invest. A part of being all in is not just investing in your business, but investing in yourself. And when you're investing in yourself, you're investing in your business. If you have to monetize and pay someone to do that, you're investing in yourself. That's like going out and getting that house, for your family. You
Mhm.
have to invest in yourself. Don't be afraid. A lot of times people look at the money and they don't look at the reward. They don't look at the benefit that they get at the end. Really look at that mentor and see who have they helped. Do your research. See people
Yes.
that follow.
Vet them like you vet a deal. That's what I
Exactly.
vet them like you vet a deal. It's that
Yep.
important
Yep.
that you understand what they're about, what their morals and values are, what type of business they're doing. We have testimonials for a reason. I even have potential clients that are interested. Talk to my current client.
Exactly. Yep.
Yes, absolutely. I'm more than happy. And if you ever come across somebody who's like, oh, I don't really want you talking, do we want? But if they don't have testimonials or somebody that you can talk to,
Yep.
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's a red flag for me, right? But I friend everybody who is interested in being a client of mine. I'm like, vet me, look at everything, and here's my websites, here's my everything, here's ask me whatever question. I'm an open book because it's that important. It really
And I
is.
love that. You got to have that passion for what you do. If you don't get up in the morning, you don't love what you do, that energy cannot transfer to your clients. You know what I mean? Like if you don't love it, you're getting up and you're mentoring people every day. That energy has to transfer to your client. By the time they get off that phone, they should be so refreshed. I had a conversation. I'll never forget this. A couple weeks ago with Pat Hilton. He's a marketing managing director. He does media, and I'm talking to him, and I'm working on some things. And by the time I got off that phone, I felt so refreshed. He was like, "You got this, and we're going to do this, and we're offering this, and tell them this, and do that." And he's giving me all these suggestions. And I'm writing everything down, and I was just like, you know what? If I can't call someone and have that pep talk, this is his lingo. He does media. I'm just kind of rewording everything that he's offering so I can, get sponsorship.
Mhm.
For actually the podcast. So
Yeah.
in regards to me getting sponsorship for a podcast. And so anyway, first time, I like to work with people who are willing to share. And so in networking, you have friends, right? And you get a lot of stuff for free 99 game by networking. And so
Mhm.
I'm like, hey, I don't know if he's available. He lives all the way in, LA. I'm just gonna hit him up, see if he's available. And voila, he answers the phone. And so I just took advantage of that moment to say, how often will you call somebody that is busy, that professionally, you're not their only client.
Mhm.
And so,
Mhm.
and I don't have an appointment. I was just like, let me take advantage, of this moment. But the refresher and the prep that was needed, we need to be around that like-mindedness, and we need to have a network in a community, whether it's a part of Facebook, any other social medias. We used to always have meetups and RIAs and stuff in different areas. You want to make sure that you're out here networking and that you are really around people who are doing the business, and
Mhm.
that like-minded, is there. Everybody's not going to be for you, but if you are out in your networking and you're meeting people, and they are offering mentorship programs, or you see it out there, get involved.
Yeah.
Get involved.
Yeah.
Invest in yourself. It's definitely going to make a huge difference.
Mhm.
And again, vet them out, like Misty said. Follow them on Facebook. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm not saying you're being stalkers. Follow the business.
I'm like, please stalk me on Facebook. Know everything about me. I mean, I want
Yeah.
you to really know, because then you'll know if we're a good fit or not, right? And that's the thing when it comes to finding a coach or mentor or program, right? Is understand what type of learner you are, right? Some people can go at this alone and do it alone and be totally fine. I know people that have done it. It's taken them longer, I will say, but I know people that have done it. They're like, hey, I'm just a figure it out myself kind of person. No problem, right? And
Right.
then obviously, myself included, I've mentioned I've had multiple coaches. I've been part of multiple programs. I am a hands-on learner, but I love training, development, guidance, support, accountability. I'm a big team person, family person, tribe, community. I thrive off of that. So whether I'm like creating one or I'm a part of one, that fuels me. And I know working in, whether it's within a group or one-on-one, for me, I take massive action. I'm way more focused and productive. Like it's really excelled my businesses. And so understand that about yourself. I know some women that have come to me after going through, other group coaching programs, they have realized I really need somebody one-on-one. Like I need that one-on-one attention. And then once we do that, then their business starts going and they're like, oh my gosh, I wish I would have done this sooner. They tried all these other group programs. And then I have women that really are like, I love the group. I love the community. I like hearing other people's questions.
Yeah.
And so really just understand what type of learner you are and don't waver in that, right? If one-on-one is what you need and want, like figure out a way to get your one-on-one, because if you just go ahead and do another group coaching, even though you're like, oh, I've already done this, you're probably not going to get your money's worth. You're probably not going to take action like you want to, and then you're going to beat yourself up. So really understand that. And that's part of like when I have like discovery calls with potential clients, we dig into that. Which program would make sense for you? Do you need that one-on-one client specific program? Or do you want a more general, and there's a price difference there, I will be honest,
Oh, of course.
but we tap into, most importantly, it's what would best serve you.
Yes.
And I've been told no, and I've also said no to people because I don't just take clients. Yeah. And I totally respect if I'm not, everybody's cup of tea or whatever, I get it. It's fine, and so, and people, same thing. Not everybody's my cup of tea. And when you're going to be working, especially with somebody one-on-one, but even just in general, that coach or mentor, you really need to respect them. Yes. You really need to respect what they've built, what they're building, who they are, how they portray themselves. I am a very honest, genuine, authentic, I will tell you like it is. Like I will not sugarcoat anything, because if I did, I wouldn't be a good coach. I'm going to push you. I'm going to ask you tough questions, but then when you're struggling, I'm also going to be there to pick you back up. I'm going to be there to guide you, support you. But if I didn't push you outside the comfort zone, I'm not doing my job. So you have to be prepared for that, because it's going to get uncomfortable.
Oh yeah, that's what we do in flight school. On Sundays we have what we call the hot seat, and we really have people get in and we dig into their business. And in front of the group, we take turns. It's only one person a Sunday, but everybody else get to learn from that other person's business. So, we're talking about digging into, how many deals did you close this week, or how many offers are you making? Again, how many leads are coming in? What are you doing with your leads? Are you, do you have a VA team that's doing this, or are you doing it yourself? How much time are you putting in? Do you have another job? We're trying to dig all the way deep so that we can break down that KPI and break down how much money you want to make and break down those goals, so you can then focus on the numbers. Again, numbers, is what it is. So again, if you're looking for a community, we also do offer one-on-one as well within the program.
Oh, awesome. Good.
Yeah, we definitely offer it. You can have one-on-one with me, Aaron, Bryson, Joseph. Any of us on the board, you can definitely take a one-on-one. But every Sunday is just that hot seat to talk about business, and we really have different modules to help you lay out your business from your core values. What are your values?
Yeah,
that's so important.
It all comes from there.
Who are you targeting? Who's your market? What are you doing? What's your model? What do your business stand for? What do you want people to know about your company, and the way you move. And it's so important to make sure that you have that foundation, because you can go out and be in the business, but do you really have that foundation? And
Mhm.
it's not even just about when the money come in, but are you putting the right money back out into marketing? Are you, paying
Yep.
your staff? Are you saving? Are you paying your taxes on your money? So
Mhm.
a lot of times everybody think, oh yeah, we're making this money, but are you now putting that back into, your taxes? Do you have a accountant? Are you really taking the steps that you need to make sure that now that you're doing the business, that you're protecting the business and you're doing it the legal and right way? Um,
Absolutely.
so a lot of people get their wholesale deals. No, they're going to pay no taxes, but we ain't gonna talk about that, Misty.
Yeah, I pay my taxes. That's for sure. I
Listen,
might get
if
in
you
trouble.
really are doing this business, you want to make sure you're doing it the right way. You want to take those
Absolutely.
steps, and you definitely want to be around people that can mentor and guide you into those directions. I mean,
Mhm.
there's so many resources that you can look to on Facebook, but making sure that you're with someone that is a good fit for you. So, never offer or do anything up front if you can't talk to someone or have a free, 5-minute consultation to see if it's a good fit.
Right.
Do things like that. But if it's someone that wants money and they're not really putting out or telling you what they can offer you,
Mhm.
do your research. And I'm not saying not to use that person, but hey, do your research on anybody that is looking to mentor. And then of course, the best mentorship is friends. I
Mhm.
love when I can call a friend and I get like a nugget, or it's been so many times I'll call someone random and they'll say something like, wait a minute, I have to write that down.
Mhm.
Repeat
Mhm.
that. I gotta write that down again. So,
Yeah,
you always have that as well, but definitely invest in yourself. I mean, I can't say it again. That's why I'm still stuck on that, because it's so important. I think
it
sometimes
is.
people don't feel like they should put money into that, but it's so important because get this, if you don't put money into mentorship, you're going to pay for it a different way in the mistakes that you're making on these deals when you could have
Mhm.
just had someone that can guide you the right way. So
Mhm.
really, again, put that CEO logic mindset in. Do I want to spend more money to make the mistakes, or do I want to take that money and pay for a mentor, probably save more money than I would put out making the mistakes, and really didn't get that one-on-one coaching if you need it, or get that community coaching that's needed. I encourage every woman to definitely be a part of Misty's group. Misty, can you let us know where we can find your group? Because I definitely, it's a lot of women who I know are part of the Super Women with us, with
Mhm.
that page, because you
Yeah.
do share into that page. But where can we find the Mindset Matters REI and things like that you're involved
Sure. So I do have a free Facebook group that is public that I think you're a part of it as
with? Yep.
well. The
Mhm.
Women's Real Estate Investor
That
Alliance. So
stalks everything. That's why I know about
yes,
Monday motivation, all that good
I
stuff.
love it. She's like, I stopped you.
That stalks everything. Yes, ma'am.
I love it. Never thought I'd be happier to have a stalker, but hey, I love it. So anybody is welcome to join. Any woman is welcome to join that group. It started as kind of a Houston-based group. It's grown to women all over the country. I think maybe we even have some from other countries. I think we have over 2,000 members now. So it's the Women's Real Estate Investor Alliance, WREIA. You're welcome to join that. I do share a lot of great free information there. And that's actually where a lot of my Her Mindset Matters REI group members come from. Is they see me in there and they're like, ooh, I want to work with Misty on a more intimate level. And so that's when they join the Her Mindset Matters REI group program. And we just wrapped a program, so I won't be starting another one until probably September. I'm thinking after Labor Day, maybe to start so everybody can get back to school and just settle in. And so we do have a private Facebook page that is or group that is a members only group. So if you join the tribe, the Her Mindset Matters REI group tribe, then you get access to that group, those group members, those resources, along with the 8-week training program, and myself, who's leading that program right now. Where you can find information in regards to what the 8-week program entails is www.hermindsetmattersrei.com. So if you want to go there, check out the website. Also, just friend me on Facebook, DM me on Facebook. I'm all over Facebook. I still haven't quite figured out Instagram and all that yet. I know I'm old, I guess. I don't know. But I love Facebook, and that's where majority of my clients, we interact there. We hop on an awesome discovery call to see if working together is a good fit both ways. If it is, then we go ahead and get you signed up, get you plugged into the group, get you going on everything, whether it's within the group or one-on-one. But yeah, that program is Each week we cover, something different, starting with the basics, setting that foundation, just like you said, right?
Yep.
And then moving on from there is talking about marketing campaigns, finding and funding your deals, deal analysis, negotiations,
Nice.
networking, building your power team. We talk about money mindset, sales psychology, really just setting these women up for success. And the whole goal is within the 8 weeks, I want you taking massive action. I want you not only talking about which marketing campaign you're going to do, but I want you launching it.
Yes,
Because it's about the action taking. And then I want you bringing those. Let's talk about the leads that are coming in. Let's do it. Let's run through a live deal analysis within the group and all of that. So it's been really fun to see that, because education is great, but it doesn't do you any good unless you actually take action on it.
There you go. I love it, Misty. I love it. And on Facebook, we can find you at Misty Flanagan, correct?
Mm-hmm. And then, yes. And if anybody's interested in one-on-one coaching, that is separate from her Mindset Matters REI group. That is just you and me. I don't have a website for that. I don't have an agenda for that, because my clients are the agenda. Each program is different because it is extremely, extremely client specific. We focus on the goals you have, the obstacles you have, the business you want to build, the mindset you want to build. So if you are interested in learning more about that, again, just reach out to me and we can hop on a call and chat through that and see if it might be a good fit. So
I love it. Thank you so much, Misty, for joining us. I appreciate having you today. I thank you so much. If ever I come to Houston area over in Texas, which I'm planning really soon, I'm definitely going to reach out with you. I would love to have lunch.
Yeah.
Maybe if you have a rear or something going on, I would love to just be a part of it. Are you familiar with Julie from Longhorn Investments?
Is that Julie Holly?
Yes.
Yes. I was on her podcast. She's amazing. Yeah. Yeah, she's amazing.
I met her, and it's funny because I love just the energy of Texas women. Mm-hmm. And so I'm over here, obviously in Maryland, so I'm on the other side, and I always look at things that you guys have going on. I actually inboxed her, and I was like, "Hey, do you guys have an event going on?" She's like, "Oh, we're in Texas." I was like, "Man," I was like stalking something one day, and I was like, "I gotta get over there." So
yeah, you gotta come to Texas. Well, the Julie I'm thinking about isn't in Texas though, so it must be a different Julie, because Julie Holly is like. She's in like Wisconsin or something like that.
No, Julie's in Texas. She's with Longhorn Investments. And she does a lot of wholesale deals, like buy deals, and she's all over in Texas.
Very cool.
So, I was kind of stalking out one of her events, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's not even for women here. It's only in Texas. So a lot of stuff go on in that area. I'm actually marketing personally in that area for wholesale. So I'll definitely keep my eyes and ears plugged. If anything comes up, I'll definitely touch bases.
Yes.
But thank you. And I so appreciate your time and being a part of the show. Guys, please make sure you follow Misty Flanagan. And if you have any questions for us, if you do want to be a part of the mentorship program, whether it's the one that Misty provides or the Flight School campaign, let me know. Definitely send us a link, send us an inbox, and let us know. And we'll put the links in the bottom so that way you guys can join. And also the mentorship, not mentorship, but the mindset, entrepreneurial mindset from your mentor clip.
The podcast.
Yes. I want to make sure I get that clip as well so that we can share. So everything that we talked about today, resource-wise, I'll make sure that you guys as viewers have an opportunity to click on the link so that you can make sure you have everything you need. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys, and take care.